Sometimes a shirt says more than 1,000 words. Or in this case, it's 2 words, but you get the idea, right? I do not remember the last day that I felt alive. So, this is as good as any of a time to start doing a ghost type only challenge. Because this is your first time seeing what the game has to offer, I will be doing the whole storyline. Throughout the video, I'll have a couple of moments where I explain a couple things because I think they are important for context. Don't worry, if I do like another challenge video in the future about this game, I'll be sure to leave out a whole lot of the story. There's a lot of talking in this game. I guess we're just gonna have to deal with that, huh? It's an open world game, so you have the complete freedom to do whatever you want. I'll be just playing through it, doing whatever I feel like, and I'll just see where it goes. Or where it ghosts. To quickly explain to you the rules of this challenge, it's very simple. I'm doing a ghost type only challenge, alright? Nothing but ghosts. I can only catch ghosts, I can only fight with ghosts, and that's about it. And I will hold on to those rules for dear life and not ignore them at all at any point during the journey. It's a little bit difficult to do that because you start out with like 3 options that are not ghosts. Because you are not very familiar with all of the new Pokemon, I will be giving some ratings on Pokemon and giving my opinion on them. But I thought it would be best to just focus on only the ghost types, otherwise this video is gonna be 10 hours long. Okay, I think that I have said everything that I needed to say in order for this video to start. So let's start with the intro animation. Let us begin our new journey by choosing a language. That's pretty important. We pick a starting face and a name, and I really like that name. Now it's time to pick a hairstyle. I picked the hairstyle that looks the most ghost-like, and I made it white. Next up, our face. Eye shape, sad looking. Eye color, like gray. Eyelashes, that should be fine. Also white, of course. Change the brows, and make them white as well. The mouth needs to look as sad as possible. And let's make the lips blue. Like we really are a dead girl. I looked through the beauty spots and freckles, but I think a pale face fits the aesthetic better. Our official school documentation. The English dead girl. Haha, fantastic. Now we get the intro of the game. You got the school, you can take classes if you want. I've never done that. You can fight with animals, you know, school stuff. That's the director of the school. Oh, and that's the map of the region. And yes, this region has a Pikachu clone, of course. Man, this girl must have a rich mom in order to go to a school like this. Damn. And would you look at that? The legendary Pokémon. Pokémon Violet. Pay attention to how epic the Pokémon moves, because you will never see it move like that ever again. It's gonna be clunky and unfinished. It runs out of batteries or something. Maybe it's just the camera following the Pokemon though. It's... Hey look, birds! And their house! Okay, now that the first promo video is done, we get to look at our sad, sad face. I love it. I wanted to grab my stuff, but I'm not allowed yet. But hey look, a Ghost-type Pokemon sticker! How cool, it's right on theme. As I walk down the stairs, I'm sadly spotted by a squirrel. I wanted to step on it, but it got away. Oh well. In the kitchen I find my mom. She tells me about something important. But then, the doorbell rings. Alright, that's scary, but I'll get it. Oh, never mind. I guess you just come inside all on your own. Yeah, sure, no, yeah, that's fine. Why not? Who cares about privacy? Just waltz on in, why don't you? Speaking of lack of privacy, why does my bedroom not have any walls? Or a door? Anyway, it's the director that, after indirectly calling me a failure, gave my mom enrollment documents. Yeah, I'm sure that's what's inside of that fancy-looking bag that my pretty-looking single mom quickly put away. I'm starting to have a feeling why I'm allowed to go to such an expensive school. She then sends me to my room, my quote-unquote room, so the director can join her for a cuppa. I see. So that's what you call enrolling in each other's documents. I grab my stuff and quickly go downstairs, hoping to be fast enough so I don't see anything, and oh my god! They told me that I'm not allowed to let anybody know about this, and to make sure that I keep my mouth shut, I got to choose a rare Pokémon. How fun! I can choose the masked furry, the spicy pepper, or a stylish duck. Mom, please, too soon. Whoops, did you see that? The shadow seems a bit, funky. Well, let's just hope this isn't a foreshadowing. I also get a phone from my mom. A phone possessed by a ghost Pokemon, Rotom. How perfect. I guess that's good enough to stop me from talking about what happened today. I wiggle my way over to the director's house. I make sure to take my time, not because I want to, but because this is as fast as I can go. There we go, much better. Well, looks like we made it. I immediately lost the Pokemon, but that's alright. They're just playing in the trailer of the game. The shadow seems a bit, funky. Here we are introduced to a new character. Okay, so I discovered something while editing, and I thought I'd just share. You have this scene where it's like, not quite Miss That Girl has yet to make her choice, you see. Right? Everything is fine here. And afterwards, you have the scene where the duck comes in, and like the kitty comes in, and then the spicy pepper comes in. And then, like, first of all, the spicy pepper takes a bite of the burnt apple, but then there's nothing missing there. So he does not take a bite. And then the duck is like, nuh-uh, don't do that, nuh-uh. But the duck is more special in this scene, because if you go back, right, you see here, the duck is jumping into frame. It starts from outside of the screen, and then it jumps in to the center, and it's like, haha, I'm here, and I jump in place. But if we go back to the previous scene, to these two talking, and then we go forward frame by frame, the duck is just standing there with their back turned to the camera. You go from this to this, it's just standing there. But then the next frame, it's completely gone, and then it jumps in again. Like, what a great attention to detail, isn't it? Scene of two people talking, you get the duck, you get no duck, and then you get the duck again. So, there you go. The show seems a bit, funky. This girl is Namana, and she has been dying. Haha, me too. Oh, we are apparently neighbors, and she immediately asks me to be friends. Like, I'm sorry, how old are we? Isn't this moving a bit too fast? Can we be more than friends? I have learned that the quickest way out of a conversation is by saying yes to whatever people say. So to answer your question, Namana, you must have a lot of friends. We learned that Namana is the president of the student council and a champion-ranked trainer. In older games, you had trainers and one champion. Once a trainer beats the champion, they are now the new champion. In this game, after a trainer defeats the champion, you become a champion-ranked trainer. How fun. Sounds like a rule made up by the champion to make sure they stay in position, if you ask me. She immediately wants to battle me, before I even picked a Pokemon? Wait, aren't you like a champion-ranked trainer? Are you sure fighting someone with a level 5 starter is interesting to you? Wait, we're in the same class? How does that make any sense? You basically finished school. Well, I'm just starting. Well, it turns out she just starts her adventure all over again. I guess she got bored of being a champion or whatever. I also liked how she mentioned that we are neighbors and classmates, but completely forgets to add friends to that. Maybe she picked up on my sarcasm after all. Anyway, time to pick a starter. Since the closest I can get to a ghost type is the spicy ghost pepper, I'll take that one.
Funky.
And obviously, I'll name this little ghost pepper not dead yet. Yeah, that's right.
Funky.
Behind the director's house is his own private beach. Damn! Where we will be having our first fight. How fun! So, I pressed A couple times until Namana is impressed by my skills. She looks so dreamy, doesn't she? Wait, what was that? I guess that was nothing. Okay, hi, I'm back. Hi, I'm here to show you something else that this game does, which is weird. So for this shot, you have the player, the person watching from a distance, and then the person you just defeated. But what happens here is weird because the pan starts at the character that you are. It pans over to the person watching, and then it just goes beyond the character, and then snaps back to him, and then pans over to the person you just defeated. Like, what? Why is this? I thought about this for a while and I thought I have no fucking clue why this would be a thing, but I did come up with a theory, a hypothesis, if you will. So what I think happened here is because this game is so incredibly rushed and it needed to go out as quickly as possible that they just made the shot from the person watching panning over to the person you just defeated, because that will never change. The person standing there will always look like that. The person you defeated will always look like the way that they do. Like, there's nothing changing there. But the character can look in different ways because you can customize the way that you look. So I think that in order to cut corners, they just made this pan section and just have it be in the game, and then made the character part later because they hadn't implemented the customization options yet. Like, I think that's what happens here, because I cannot think of anything else that could possibly explain what's going on here. Thought I'd point that out. Anyway, let's continue the rest of the journey. Yay! She wants to battle me again, like, right after defeating her. Why? Not only will I kick your ass again, I will do it faster since I leveled up. The director jumps in and stops her. Thank you for that. I then get an app on my phone. And let's just take a little moment to see how installing an app on a phone looks like in this game. Yes, of course, that makes sense. Now that we got the Pokédex, it's time for the Pokémon catching tutorial. Not before my mom tells me to eat proper meals during my school time. I'm not going to eat anything other than sandwiches and the blood of my enemies. And that's the last time I'll ever see my mom. Bye, Mom! Hi, real quick, I just want to point out that the pictures and sprites of Pokemon and items take so long to load that when Mom gives you your sandwich, it takes so long for the icon to load that at the last possible frame, you will be able to see the sandwich. But before that, you see nothing but a gray Pokeball, which is like the placeholder for when an item icon is loading. I just thought I'd point that out. I wobble over to Namana, and she tells me things while I don't listen. And then she gives me some Pokeballs. Time to learn how to catch a Pokemon. I killed it. On purpose. She's not very happy about it, but I don't care. I get 10 more balls, and I'm finally able to walk for a bit. How fun! I walk around, collect some items, hoping to find a ghost-type Pokemon. But then the scariest thing possible happened. Another cutscene. We hear a mysterious, spooky Pokemon cry. I wonder what it could be. I go and check up on the edge of the ledge. Well, I mean, it's not that close to it, but whatever. And there we find the Pokemon that crashed into the beach without leaving any impact marking indicating that it actually happened. It tries to intimidate the dogs that are just like standing there. But the only thing that is intimidated is the ground, which chucks me down to the beach. I don't fall though, my phone catches me somehow. Dang it. I almost became a ghost type myself. Fuck. I walk over and try to give it my adventure guide. It didn't take it. Rude. What about my phone? It has Ghost in it. Maybe you can like call the ambulance or something. Nope. Oh, I know. I know. How embarrassing. It needs to be healed. No, potions don't work either. Oh, but of course. A sandwich can solve any problem. It then eats the sandwich. And voila! No more broken bones. Or like empty batteries or something. I don't know. We stare at each other for some reason, and then it walks over to the cave. It goes Super Saiyan. Like, I don't know why. Maybe it's a sandwich. Like, I'm really wondering what my mom put in that sandwich. It goes into the cave and it disappears. Oh, no, wait, no, it just popped back into existence. Okay, that's fine. Alright, I'll follow it. Fine. Now this part is really annoying. If you get too close to it, you walk super slow again. Namana is at the top of the cave. We also get to see some amazing camera work. Wow. We walk slowly. I collect some items while I'm here anyway, and oh no, more doggies. There you go, problem solved. And onwards we go. There's another great shot, and then we get stuck for a moment, and but then, okay, we can move again, great. Oh no, there's a bigger dog now. Don't worry, I'll get him, or maybe not. The sandwich thief comes in and swipes the dog bag. Big dog calls small dogs, and now we are surrounded and super in danger. Right when he wants to attack, even more doggies come walking over, even though they never make it to the frame, but whatever. I mean, there's only a couple dogs around me. The numbers didn't increase or anything, but let's just ignore that. The mysterious Pokemon then jumps over, breaks my back, and carries me to Nama. And it runs out of juice again. Well, I'm all out of sandwiches.
Funky.
Now that it knows that I don't have any more food, he gets up. Of course. We exchange numbers, which takes longer than downloading an app, by the way. And she then gives me the TM Swift, and then we make our way over to the lighthouse. Once we enter the cutscene, a new character, also a student, is allowed to show his acting skills. The purple machine is apparently his Pokémon. And this not-so-friendly person is Arvin, the son of the actual professor of the region. Professor Torres. Turo, or something like that. We told Arvin about where and how we found the Pokémon. The Pokémon is named and has two forms, normal form and battle form, which, you know, we saw earlier when he goes like Super Saiyan or whatever. It's supposed to be a special Pokemon, and we need to prove ourselves that we can handle this thing. So we battle. Oh, that's the squirrel again. I can squish it now. No, even better. I can burn it. Nice. He really seems to like watching a squirrel being burned alive. I think we're gonna get along just fine. Whoops. Happened again. Oh no. I received the Pokeball and now it is mine. Yay. Arvin runs off and Namana calls him a weirdo. What a nice girl. Time to climb the lighthouse. We look at the school and then at the, as Namana described it, beautiful nature stuff. Yeah, no, I mean, I love that the mountains and the trees look like they came from a PS2 game from 2002. It's gorgeous. And there we have the next location of our tutorial. You might have thought that the intro of the game is over, but no, it is not over yet. We are still waiting for the game to start. On my way there, you will see a bunch of Pokemon, which I cannot catch because they are not ghost types. We will also see people with a yellow speech bubble above their head. That means that they are trainers that you can fight. I don't have any ghost types yet, so I'm not interested. I walk around, picking up items, looking for a ghost type Pokemon, and after a while, I actually find my first encounter, a Ghastly. After throwing one ball, I get to see through the ground.
Raid that Pokémon!
How poetic. The first ghost Pokemon that I raid is also the first ghost to ever appear in the Pokédex. Besides that, there's not much to say about this though. It's a ball of gas. It has cute little teeth though. That's pretty cute. In the 2D era, the eyes were spooky scary, but now in the 3D era, it just kind of reminds me of wings with eye patterns on them. That's kind of weird. But there's not a lot to say about this, so I'll rank it C, for it could have used just about anything to make it more interesting. I call it Fart. Oh, wait, I cannot name it Fart? What if I do this? Perfect, Fart it is. After catching Fart, I walk around some more until I make my way back to the place I'm supposed to visit. I give some candy I found to Fart, so it's level 7. As I walk over what looks like a gas station, I find the tutorial girl Namana. She tells me that it's a Pokémon center where I can heal my Pokémon, I can buy and sell items, and also make some TMs. She gives me some LP, which is just like money, but not exactly the same. You have normal money, which you can use to pay for most things, and LP, which you can use to pay for most things. But then slightly different things, I guess? Let's just move on. She goes on to tell me some other basic things and finally leaves me alone. This is the TM machine, by the way. Whenever you defeat a Pokémon, you get some stuff specific to that evolution line. With those items and some LP, you get to make these TMs. You don't have many at the start, but it'll open up once you play more of the game. I thought that, now I have an actual Ghost-type Pokémon, it would be fun to fight a trainer. So I talked to this little kid, and fuck, it's a normal type. I only have a Ghost-type attack, which normal types are immune to. I had a plan though. If I use Confuse Ray, it can hit itself and I can still get to win the battle. Easier said than done, however. This little bouncing mouse continues to hit almost every single move. It was like it wasn't even confused. It snapped out of its confusion constantly and didn't do enough damage to me either. After using all of my Confuse Ray PP and almost all of my Lick PP, I finally gave up. I put it to sleep and switched to Not Dead Yet to finish the battle with 2 attacks. This battle alone, with just Ghastly, took me 11 minutes. I wonder how the rest of the challenge is going to be. Maybe you understand now why I wanted to make the video like this and not like a normal playthrough. You're welcome. Okay, so after this amazing 11-minute long fight, Fart learned a new move. And I'm going to give you some time to guess what move you think it learned. I'll give you a hint though. Imagine me, standing in this grassy field, fighting against a child with a normal type Pokemon. That's just it. The fight takes 11 minutes, Fart is completely useless, and I'm just sitting there like with furious rage, staring a hole at the back of my Pokemon. And then one moment Ghastly turns around, looks at my face, and gets the inspiration for a new move. It's mean look. I had a very mean look on my face. Ghastly looked at that and was like, oh my god, that's a good move. Holy shit, how'd you learn that? And yeah, it also had a second Pokemon, but Not Dead Yet just took care of this little doggy with just 3 moves. Time to heal. I collect some more items. I saw Pachirichu ignore gravity. I mean, it's just taking an invisible elevator up the tree, and then I thought it may be a good idea to try out another battle. Thank God it's not a normal type. I confuse it, lick it, and it dies. A lot faster than the first battle. I also fought a Gulpin that continued to use Yawn and could not hit me with a move. I won, but it took another 4 minutes of my life. I may have made a mistake, so I added a new rule to the challenge. If the challenge takes so long that I myself become a ghost, I win. I wish I was a ghost, 'cause living in the human form is fucking torture. I don't like to live in a world that is not made for me. Okay, something else I want to point out here real quick. When you heal your Pokemon, I noticed that after a little while, the nurse completely stops moving. This is not me editing, this is just like you see the animation going, you're like, oh, she's doing something for some reason, and then she stops. Nice. Good stuff. After healing my Pokemon, I went straight to the next cutscene. It's Namana again. What a surprise! But this time, she wants to fight. I don't need to win this in order to continue, so like I'm not super worried, but I still want to do my best. I lick her cat, she wiggles her tail. I lick and paralyze, nice. And then she bites for a 1-hit KO. Yikes. kind of forget that it learned a super effective move. I send out Not Dead Yet, my only other option. I take it out with 2 moves, but not without taking some scratch damage. Her next Pokemon is the new Pikachu clone. Only she has access to the gimmick of this game, terrestrializing, or something like that. I call it crystallizing. It sounds a lot better. What this gimmick does is simple. It changes your type to whatever type the crystal type of your Pokemon is. For defense, this allows you to change how much damage you take. If you would have a dragon flying type, it would mean that you would be 4 times weak to ice. But if you crystallize it into a fire type, you now resist the damage. You are now weak to water, rock, ground, and that kind of stuff, but that speaks for itself, right? You can only crystallize 1 Pokemon per fight. For offensive use, it's different. If a Pokemon uses a move, it does 100% damage. However, if the move used by the Pokemon is the same type as the Pokemon itself, it does 150% damage. We call that stab damage. Same type attack bonus. You know, like in other games. So if you change your Pokemon to the type of the move you want to use, it now does stab damage. If your Pokemon is already the type that it crystallizes into, you get extra stab damage. Your move now does 200% damage. You can only crystallize into whatever type it will change into. You don't get to choose. However, if you catch a Pokemon with a different Terra type than its original typing, you get that one. But we'll get to that when it's time. For now, crystallizing is good for doing more damage while taking less. Anyway, back to the fight. She kicked my ass in 2 hits. Oh well. It's now time to go to school. There are a bunch of stores in this location, but also in other cities. I say stores, but what I really mean is a menu you can choose from. You'll see what I mean later on, though. Blah blah blah, let's just move on, right? We walk up some stairs and there we meet a character that will definitely play an important role in the story because she has a very unique design. We need to defend her against Team Bad Guys, in this case Team Star. They're basically just a bunch of bullies, so let's get this over with. Oh, she's cute though. Hey, would you look at that? It's another normal type. I use a couple moves until I switch out. I'm not doing that again. My Spicy Pepper takes it out in a couple of hits, and then Namana shows up, and Team Star is afraid that she's going to report them. So I talk her out of it, and we use this as a tryout because she gives me the Terra Orb. Now I too can use this game's gimmick, and the character looks as excited as I am. Namana forces the other Team Star member to fight me, and oh look, it's another fucking normal type. I confuse it and quickly switch. I use Ember, and then I forget that I need to put the silly little hat on to show you what it's like. But I flinched, so I get another chance to show you that not every crystal type hat looks like a light bulb. This one looks like a candle. They could have made it into a big flame or make it look really cool, but they chose this instead. Alright, I burn the rodent, I switch back to Fart, and let the burn damage do the job. The bullies then run away, the girls run up the stairs, and I'm able to walk for 20 seconds again. Yippee! I enter the school, we do some talking, I'm introduced to the class that I will never ever see again, we talk some more with Namana, and we get to see the champion. I was told by the people in this game that she goes all out for battling, to the point that it's scary. And that made me think that during the champion fight she was going to be crazy. And her hair would just go all over the place and as if she utilizes her own psychic powers or something, I was really looking forward to that my entire first playthrough. I couldn't wait to see a hard champion fight where the champion would be pushed to going mad. Her hair going crazy, floating all over the place in the air, but it never happened. So let me spare you the same level of disappointment that I had to go through. It's just not gonna happen. Here we see all of the gym leaders on the map, and we need to defeat all of them before we can get to the Elite Four. Duh. We also need to talk to Arven, who will talk about some more lore, But at this point in writing the script, I'm just like so over it and like so much talking. I'm sure that all of the talking done in the school adds nothing to the video anyway. Most of it is just repeating things we already know and adding some small bits of info here and there. I'm sure you'll be fine without this info, right? Here we have the map of all of the Titans. We'll get to that once we encounter one, but we need to defeat all 5 of them for bike upgrades. Yes. We are then called by a mysterious character. But would they call it hacking our phone? I know that I'm anxious, right? But when I get a phone call, I'm not gonna scream that I'm being hacked. I just look at the phone for 30 seconds before I've mentally prepared myself to have a conversation. They talk about Team Star and they want me to join in their efforts of getting rid of them. Sure, why not, mystery character of whom I have no clue who you could possibly be. It turns out that the director overheard my quote-unquote hacked conversation and tells me to be quiet. Rude. I tried to leave, but I need to head to the director's office. He told me to remember that I'm not allowed to talk about what happened this morning. Thank you for reminding me. We also get to meet the professor. The professor is in Area 0, that's the center of the map. Very creative name, I know. Oh man, how embarrassing, my bike got out of its ball. No, now my phone is adding someone's phone number without my consent? Damn, these Pokemon just do not care about me, do they? Now that that's over, Namanamana comes and picks me up to guide me to my own room. Oh my. This is the space I get. I had to live in this amount of space when I was a student. My everything was in this space. I'm talking bed, fucking closet, fridge, oven, like everything I owned was in this space. And this school gives you all of that, but also a kitchen, a hallway, and your own bathroom? I'm assuming it's a bathroom anyway, so whatever. I cannot leave yet though, I have to sleep first. I sure am tired of the intro of this game, but oh well. The next day, the next couple of days, apparently, we get to see my face during the intro of this game. Look at how much excitement. I get that Pokemon wants a more cinematic vibe on their games, but come on. Just let me play the game already. We don't need this much extra stuff at the beginning of the game. Back when I played and finished Fire Red and Platinum, I did it without even understanding the English language. And I still got to beat the game without handholding. Do we really need all of this extra stuff now? I will say though, I love that when we talk, we stop in the middle of the stairs before we continue. It's really thrilling content. And here we stand with the 3 of us. After being hacked again, by the way, this is the map of all of the Team Star hideouts that we also need to defeat. It is now finally time to play the game. It takes almost 2 hours to finish the fucking tutorial shit. I'm just showing this to you because it's your first time and I want to show you the basics of this game. All the script writing, voiceover work, editing, illustrations, and animations should teach you all that you need to know. Alright, so our journey now officially begins. Oh wait, I went in the wrong direction. Whoops. Now our journey can officially begin. One thing that you get to do in this game is picnic with strangers. How fun. You can also do terror raids, and let me just show you what they're like. You get to see the Pokemon in the raid and the type it's gonna be. In this case, it's Ghost type. How fitting. You can do this with others or just with NPCs. The difficulty goes somewhere from 1 star to 6 or 7 in special occasions. And you can solo everything up to 3, maybe 4 stars, but any higher than that, then you're probably gonna need real people. The NPCs don't always make the best choices, so to speak. Once you're inside of the raid, you get Cheer, which allows you to increase the attack, defense, or health of everyone's Pokemon. You can only do it 3 times per raid. Attacks are the same as usual, which is nice. The Pokemon has 2 bars above its head. The top one is its health, and the one below is the timer. If the timer runs out, you lose. Whenever a Pokemon faints, it takes time off the timer, and you have to wait until you respawn. Every time you faint will give you a longer respawn time. After a couple of turns, you'll be able to crystallize. You cannot do that straight away, and after you die, you cannot crystallize again. Crystallizing kind of freaked the game out a little bit. Like the Terra Pokemon will not be visible, and like some of your team members may or may not be visible. But oh wow, yeah, it's just whatever. If you aren't able to win, you will be blasted out of the den. But if you succeed, you can catch the Pokemon. You also get some rewards for defeating them, and more if you catch them. Something that you can also find are wild Pokemon that glow. Fabulous. They have a special Terra type like this Jigglypuff with the Water Terra type. You can't catch it until it is below red health. It loses its typing, and then you get to catch it. Not that I can show it to you because Fart is pretty bad right now, but whatever. You can also find these men around Pokestops. If you defeat X amount of trainers in that area, you get a special item. After exploring for a bit, I found a Mankey. It's not a ghost type, but why not catch it, right? It cannot attack me, and I can catch it faster than I can defeat it, and this gives Fart some XP. I forgot to nickname it, but oh wow, whatever, I'm not gonna use it anyway. After finding one of these towers, I climbed a ladder, and once I reached the top, the tower kind of disappears for a sec. Wow, look at the low quality graphics. Hey, it's a treasure chest. No, I'm kidding, it's not a treasure chest, it's a Pokemon. It's like a mimic or something. Bart is still not good at fighting, so it takes a while, as you can see by the color of the sky, but I managed to catch it anyway. Because this is a ghost-type Pokemon. Yes!
Rate that Pokemon!
This one is a bit odd. Every fantasy franchise has a mimic. Pokemon did not have one, which, I mean, that's fine, but now it does. Like, it took them so long to implement a mimic into the franchise that I'm surprised that they did it. Anyway, its design is simple. This little gray thingy is, fine. It collects coins in its chest. That's the gimmick of this thing. And the chest itself is fine. Pokédex says that this Pokemon is often left in corners of stores because people don't realize that this is a Pokemon. But the thing is, this is the only time you see a chest like this. I've not seen a chest like this anywhere in the game. Not in stores, not in other places, only at the top of these towers. And I get that people see a chest when they look at it, but no one has this chest. The only time when you see it, it's a Pokemon. It's like seeing a turtle shell and thinking it's just an object. No, you dummy, that's a Pokemon. Anyway, I'll just give it a C for chest. Pretty boring. I named it Chestnuts. Our second ghost-type Pokemon is on the team. Fart finally learns a move that allows it to hit normal types. Also, that's very nice. I waited until it was night before I continued my journey. Yes, I needed to charge my batteries, but let's just pretend that it's all on purpose. And then I found a shiny! A Standler! You know, just a 1 in 4,096% chance. That's nice. I'm feeling lucky. It's sadly not a ghost type, but every gym has one Pokemon that isn't the typing of the gym until they crystallize it, so maybe I'll do that. I first need to be able to change its Terra type, and that's gonna take a while. I named it Green Bean, but immediately regretted that choice because Pistachio is a much better name. That's better. So onwards I go. By the way, if you land in the water, this happens. I just thought I'd show. After pressing the wrong buttons a couple of times, because this game has way too many menus, I fly back to the way over to the other tower. Every tower has one of these chests, and I need to defeat as many as I can. Why, you ask? Shut up. None of your business. You may also see me collect little gray Pokemon thingies along my journey as well. Why? Shut up. I make my way over to the next town, and I find another encounter just outside of this town. It's a Shuppet. After a slow fight, thanks to Fart, I managed to catch it.
Rate that Pokemon!
Shuppet. I love this thing. It's very simple, but not too simple. Its body looks a bit odd. It's like a stick under a piece of cloth, but it also has like a watermelon underneath it. It's spooky, and I like it. Its eyes are interesting looking and also very cute. They love negative emotions and hang in rows under the eaves of houses where vengeful people live. They are attracted to jealousy and vindictiveness. I'll give it an A for, aw, look at those cuties. It feeds on dark emotions of sadness and hatred, which makes it grow stronger. I have the perfect name. I call you my therapist. Wait, what? Therapist is an insult now? Oh, wait, it's because it has piss in the name, isn't it? Alrighty then, that's fine. I tried to find another ghost, but I did not find one. Sad. I did find another raid, so I thought maybe I can show you what it looks like when you win one of these. And I did! Yay me! The Pokemon loses its silly hat and you can catch it with any ball that you want. And then you get rewards. I went back to my search for more ghosts and I found one. It's a pile of sand. Fart was unsuccessful, so it was Chestnut's turn to shine. The moves it has are like pretty bad. It feels weak like Fart, but it can at least take a couple of hits, so I like that. Another ghost added to our team.
Raid that Pokémon!
Sandygast. It's a pile of sand. It has a little shovel on its head, a hole in its body meant to be a mouth, and its eyes look like an old school cartoony thief. I love it. It loves the shovel on its head and will fight anyone who tries to take it away. If it loses its shovel, it will stick something else in its head, like a branch, which I would love to see in the game. How cool would it be if you have like a small chance of finding a Sandygast with something else on its head? That would be awesome world building. After a child playfully builds a mound of sand and leaves it behind, it gets possessed by the grudges of the dead and a Sandygast is born. It takes control of whomever sticks their hand in its mouth, so be careful. I just love the idea of this Pokemon. You're on the beach and you expect danger to be in the skies above you or in the water. Maybe a washed up jellyfish that could sting you. But the sand upon which you stand? Now that is a twist. A very solid ghost and ground type. A for amazing how you can turn any simple thing into a cool Pokemon as long as you do your best. I named it Sandy, a very fitting name. I switched it for Pistachio because I cannot use it yet, so hold on to it. I wanted to head back, but I was stopped. I just couldn't move. And I was like, wait, why? What's going on? But apparently, a useless Pokemon woke up. The one that wasn't even near me. What a useless, dumb Pokemon. Why would I ever catch this thing? I have no use for it whatsoever. You woke up for nothing. All you did was waste my time, you useless Pokemon. After insulting the poor thing, I went over to another tower and defeated another chest. These towers usually come with some good TMs. That's the only reason why I go to these towers. There's no other reason at all. Stop asking me about these chests. I tried out Sandy, and I love how you can see through his body. It's so fun to me. Sandy feels a lot stronger than my other Pokemon, which is very nice and very useful. I was almost attacked by a bunch of Tauros, but I quickly climbed back up again. And I wanted to get off in the middle, but that's like something that you cannot do because your character will like freak out and like go up and down the ladder a bunch. Like, I don't get what's going on here, but like, I figured out another way around, right? For a move I will probably never use. Yay! I drove around on my bike and did some terror raids until I decided to go back to the school and go in the other direction. I climbed a tower, made it to the next town, and now that I have a team of 4 ghosts, I thought that it might be a perfect time to start challenging the first gym. Gyms are a little bit different in this game, because now you have to do a challenge or trial or whatever before you can actually do the fight. It's less interesting than it sounds. Let's just get to the first gym. Cutscene, mana, and we get to talk to the person behind the desk in this bland-looking building. We make our way over to the woman standing by the field where the challenge will happen. And although this field is my favorite spot in the entire game because it's very good for hatching eggs, The challenge itself is not that hard. It's an obstacle course that will be placed down, and you need to roll this big quote-unquote olive over the ground. And as you can see, you can cheese it big time by just bumping it over the fence. I discovered this in the first couple of seconds while playing this game for the first time, so there you go. Challenge completed. Time for the big gym fight, which takes place on the building on the opposite side of the gym building, which kind of makes me wonder, why are these gym buildings there? But whatever, it's fine. I don't care. This gym leader likes to bake and uses my favorite type, the bug type. Her first Pokemon is a Nimble. I sent out Fart and managed to kill the little critter with a couple of legs. Good job, Fart. Up next, Tarantula. If you paid attention, you would have seen this spider around at the start of the game. Oh, it has a dark type move. Well, Fart did her best. I send out Sandy next. He takes hits a lot better, and he takes out the spider. Hooray! Her last Pokemon is a Teddiursa. She crystallizes her Teddy in a Bug type. At this start, I realize that I'm overleveled, but her Teddiursa is still scary. The move she uses is Fury Cutter. It's not strong at the start, but every time it's used in succession, it can double in power. It could very well one-shot the rest of my entire team if I'm not careful. Thankfully, Sandy has Sand Attack, so I lower her accuracy twice while tanking the hits very well. I managed to bring Teddiursa in the low red health when Sandy finally bites the dust. Sandy, you get it? But Dustin, I send out Chestnuts. Teddiursa misses its attack, thankfully, and I win the match with her final Astonish. Great! I only needed to use 3 ghost types against her 3 bugs. The first gym badge is in our possession. I also get the TM pounds from Katie, and I went back to the gym where Namanamana calls me. Or hacks me. I make my way over to the next spot of action. I did forget to heal my Pokemon, but after doing that, I ride my bike over to the first Titan fight. I know, right? Action right after action. Talk about satisfaction. Titans are very simple to explain. It's a Pokemon, but big. You fight it, and just before it faints, it eats some magical herbs, and you fight it again, but now it's somewhat stronger. Hey, and there you have it. A rock-type crab that chills on the side of that wall. Or rock, or whatever you want to call it. Whoops, I found another Ghastly. I didn't even know you could find these here. I make my way over to the top of the rock so I can drop down on the crab. Or slide by it, I guess. It skedaddles away. However, when you fall, you can tell the game to put you back where you came from, making this pretty easy. This time I fall right through the unprocessed surimi sticks. It jumps off the wall, and we're right into action. I was pretty scared because it can pack a punch, but as I figured out during the fight, it cannot hurt me. So Fart will be winning another fight, but that's mostly just because of sheer luck. But I guess I'll just take it. I really thought that it had a rock type move, but apparently it only knows normal and fighting moves for some reason. I'm hoping the second form will not have a rock type move. I get it to low red health, and then it just jumps off a cliff. It's kind of a overreaction, right? Oh no, wait, no, it's just waiting there for me. Alright, I jump down and oh my god!
Fatality.
Well, looks like I turned into a ghost type myself after all. Oh, never mind, I'll just teleport it away just in time. Sad.
Funky.
Arvin comes over and talks to me, giving the crab enough time to eat and power up. Good job, buddy. There we go. Phase 2. This time, I have Arvin's help, which is actually pretty nice, because it will take way too long otherwise. Ghastly, not my favorite so far. I put the crab to sleep and we take it out so it doesn't have to feel anything. Good job, Fart. We walk into the cave entrance and I'm here on the right. You see that, right? When we walk in, I'm on the left. I just thought I'd point that out. We find the mysterious herb. Arvin talks and makes us a sandwich. Nice, I guess. Uses the definitely safe to eat glowing mystery herb that made the crab super big. I don't see a problem with that, do you? Before I can even eat it, my bike comes over and brags for the sandwich. Sure, you can have the possibly dangerous sandwich, why not? Arvin isn't happy about that though, but I don't care about Arvin. My bike gets an orgasm. Okay, I guess sandwiches are your kink. Hey, I don't judge. This orgasm also made it so that my bike can dash now. How lovely. Sexual pleasure and personal development. I mean, you can call it nitpicking, but like, I just want to remind you that this game is made by the biggest media franchise in the world. Anyway, as Arvin is doing something, we make our way out of the cave filled with the glowing walls, and we get a call from the professor explaining that we can dash now. You know, like the thing that we've been told a couple seconds ago. So let me show you how much faster I go now. This is normal speed, and this is ever so slightly faster. That's the dash. I go and look around for more items and ghost types because it's dark out. You could call me the Ghostbuster. Or maybe not. Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen the movie, so I don't know the reference. I'm sorry. I find nothing until this fun moment. This world is really magical, isn't it? Anyway, back to exploration. After a while, I find myself in a new city. Ignoring its gross design and copy-paste buildings, I go to one of the clothing stores. And this is what I meant at the beginning of the video. We don't enter a store like the good old days. You just walk through the door and you see a menu. And oh boy, is this menu slow as fuck. You can't even accessorize all that much. The only thing you can change are shoes, socks, bag, gloves, hat, and glasses. Disgusting. And on top of that, every door menu has different items that you can only see while you are in the menu. I mean, I don't even know what is on the menu in this door half the time. Sure, it's obvious when the store has shoes behind the display, but like, that's not always the case. And sometimes stores have items that you wouldn't even think would be in this store. It's just really annoying. It's just bad. I showed you this picture to show you the categories of things you can customize in this game. And if you paid attention, then you would have probably seen that, hey, wait, you're telling me that you cannot customize clothings, but there's a clothing option here. What is that all about? Well, let me introduce you to the 4 options that you have. I hate this. Hey, would you look at that? Somebody wants to trade a Pokemon. They want... Oh. What a useless, dumb Pokemon. Why would I ever catch this? I have no use for it whatsoever. You useless Pokemon. The useless Pokemon. The one I could have had if I would have done my research. Okay, alright, I'll just go and find one, I guess. I looked at the Pokédex to see where I can find it, and onwards to find this Pokemon. This Pokemon I was so mean to before. They aren't the easiest to find, but, you know, I found it after a while. You know, I threw a Quick Ball, the best Pokeball to ever made, and oh, it got out of them. Okay, well, I'll just put it to sleep, throw a Great Ball, and there you go. I caught it. I caught the thing. Well, catching the thing was enough motivation for Not Dead Yet to evolve. It has an egg on its head now. Okay, back to the city I go. After finding the girl again, she told me that she wanted to trade her Haunter. Perfect. The trading animation looks weird though. I mean, we're standing right next to each other. Why did her Pokemon come from the sky and why is mine going towards it? I mean, we're standing right next to each other. We could just give each other the ball. Well, whatever. I have Haunter now. Saves me time to train Fart any further.
Raid that Pokemon!
This is a great evolution to the boring ghost orb. It looks like a torso with a face on it, and it has 2 floating hands, which is pretty cool, I guess. It's a spooky ghost. It has a scary face, it has some shapes to give it more character, and I kinda like it. It's not really special, though. B for better than a ball of gas. It is named Huntikins? Not the best name, but I'm not much better at names, to be honest. And before we can even use Hunter, it evolves. No troll trait where the Hunter is holding like an Everstone. We just get a Gengar now. Awesome.
Rate that Pokémon.
This one is cool. It's a full body without a head. It has a scary, psychotic face on it, and its design is simple, but in a good way. It's a goofball with some serious powers. I like that. I want to give it S rank, but I can't. First of all, you can only get it after trading a Haunter with someone. This is the first time that I've ever been able to use a Gengar in my entire life. In order to get a Gengar, you need 1, to have a friend. 2, that friend needs to be at least somewhat of a gamer. 3, like the same kind of games you do. 4, have the same type of console. 5, have the same Pokemon game, or the opposite version of that game. 6, be playing at the same time when you're playing it. And 7, they need to have time to trade with you. The 7 deadly sins. And second of all, Gengar was probably going to have a cool storyline before Pikachu ruined it. Ash was originally gonna have the mysterious Clefairy as a starter. I get why they chose Pikachu, it's more of a mascot and it's way more gender neutral, but Clefairy could have been so cool! If it would have evolved into Clefable, Gengar would have received some more time to shine. Gengar is the shadow Pokemon and it looks very much like Clefable. So the theory goes that Gengar is Clefable's shadow, which could have been a real cool storyline. And third of all, it's shiny. This is very sad. So with pain in my heart, I rank it A for, oh man, I wanted to see it in S rank. I switched Huntikins with a fart. Thank you for your service, fart, but I'm happy that you are no longer giving me cramps. With our new party member, I feel confident enough that we can take on the next gym. I fly over there and enter the building. Namanamana has some stuff to say, but I don't care. If you do this challenge, it is important to remember to talk to this lady. If you don't, you can search for hours and find nothing. Search for what? Oh, of course, I haven't explained the challenge yet. You need to find tents and flora around the town. Very boring, I know. However, when you do this during the night, it's like a little bit easier because the Sunflora are sleeping, so you can tell them apart from the Sunflora looking objects around the town a bit easier. Be careful not to go too far out though, or you might accidentally give up on the very hard challenge. The location of some of the flora are random, but you'll find 3 right where you started. I guess it would have been too hard to find all 10, whatever. This one is in the corner over here. Also, look at the Sunfloras, they're teleporting ninjas. I love it. There's one over on the battlefield. You need to battle this one though. My therapist only needed 3 moves to kill this flower. I found another one at the base of the battlefield, and this one moves around. So you gotta try and catch it, and then battle it, kick its ass, and make it join the rest. It's weird that this random loner is like somehow stronger than the one at the battlefield. It only took 3 moves, just like the other one, but I expected the one on the big battlefield to be stronger, you know? Number 8 was behind some buildings, number 9 pretty close to it, next to Sunflora statues, and the last one was in between some art. Time to bring them back, but not before enjoying what these low frame rate flowers can do.
So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
There you have it, another challenge done. Time for battle! Before we do, can we take a moment to admire the stunning performance of this game? I mean, look at the frame rate of this windmill. As a Dutchie myself, I must tell you how proud I truly am to see one of these magnificent machines running at full force. As I run onto the battlefield, the gym leader is nowhere to be seen. But wait, it is at the top of the magnificent piece of technology, the art that spins and pumps. He then jumps down and breaks his legs, and I win the challenge. That was easy. I'm just kidding. Anyway, this is Grass Gym Leader Brassius. Brassius? Brassius. He's into art, and he fills the town with his makings. How fun. His first Pokemon is Petalil. I choose my therapist to tell me that none of this is real. I nightshade once to find that the gym leader is using sleep powder, which doesn't affect my Pokemon. Therapists don't sleep, you dummy. They are filled with the messed up thoughts of their clients. And I planned for that. It's not dumb luck. Where would you get that idea? Mega Drain doesn't even do enough to keep it alive for a third move to take it out. Fantastic. His second Pokemon is Smoliv. I switch out to keep Therapist alive for the fight against her last Pokemon. Smoliv crits me with a Razor Leaf and I retaliate with a Sand Tomb. Another Razor Leaf brings me to orange health as I heal just 3 HP with the Mega Drain. Alright. The same thing happens again until Sandy is down. Chestnuts comes in and trades 2 tackles for 2 Razor Leaves to win the fight. Now his last Pokemon, a Sudowoodo, which I love, is the perfect Pokemon for a Grass Terra spot. It's just, I love it. He hits me with a Rock Throw while I do a laughable amount with Astonish. It takes me out with Trailblaze, which also increases its speed. Uh-oh. I send out my therapist that takes a Trailblaze while landing a 85% accuracy Will-O-Wisp, burning the rock plant. Nice. I tried to Screech, but it didn't work out. The burn halves Sudowoodo's attack though, so that's great. Now let's see if we could finish this. Hauntigan's was faster, which I did not expect. I use Payback to do double damage after I get hit, but I move first and get hit with a laughable amount of damage. I did not expect that. I fire off Hex, which does double damage because of the burn, and the battle is over. I did not expect Gengar to take it so well. It makes sense though, I resist the attack is halved and all that stuff, and to be fair, I once again missed the fact that I'm overleveled. Whoops. Another batch in the pocket. Hooray. After the battle, Hassel, or as I like to call him Hasselhoff, showed up. He is one of the Elite Four and also a teacher. The jobs must not pay enough to just choose one, huh? I mean, what happens if you walk into the Elite Four while Hasselhoff is in his class? Does he just go to the Elite Four, leave his class waiting, or does the challenger need to wait until he's done with his school day? Anyway, he walked away before I paid attention. Whoops. My success at the last 2 gyms made me feel good, so I got a bit cocky. This feeling did not last all that long, however. I went straight to the gym, but before I could even start the challenge, Namanamana showed up and wanted to fight. Okay. She sends out her new Rockruff against my therapist and quickly sets up a double team. But my therapist doesn't care about accuracy apparently, because he lands an 85% accurate move even through a double team. A bite takes a big chunk out of his health, but he doesn't care because he lands another attack. Okay, wow, nice. Rockruff sets up another double team, but once again my therapist just lands the attack like it's nothing. I even checked the accuracy of the move to, see if it's guaranteed to hit, but no, it's just a normal move. So alright, I then use the priority Shadow Sneak and I land another hit. 2 double teams are not enough for my therapist to miss. How is this possible? Her second Pokemon is Palmy. I don't want to switch out after this brilliant performance, but Sandy wants to shine as well. So, there you go. It uses Charge to power up its next electric type attack and also raises its special defense, as I miss. I don't know why she used Charge though, because electric type attacks don't affect me, but the next turn the same thing happened again. Charge and I miss. I guess my therapist just stole Sandy's luck or something. Bite hits me for a decent chunk and I miss again? Alright. Jesus. When my therapist lands every single move, Sandy misses 3 85% accuracy moves in a row. Another charge from Palmy and... Sandy lands a move. Look at you go. Bite gets me to orange health as I astonish to finish off her Pikachu clone. Not without paralyzing though, of course. Man, what a twist in this fight. Next up, Floragato? Is that just Spanish for flower cat or something? I keep Sandy in because I want to see if he's able to pull off any more epic moves like that. Mana crystallizes her cat and it uses Home Claw, increasing her attack and accuracy. Uh-oh. I hit a move, but I don't do a lot. I wanted to lower her accuracy, but I was killed by a magical leaf. I then send out my therapist, but he's killed before he could even do anything. Okay, I send out Gengar. Knowing I would be faster, I quickly curse the cat and I get taken out by Bite. But Hauntikins wasn't done yet. Cursed Body activates and disables Bite. This is perfect. By setting a timer on the fight, all I had to do was focus on surviving long enough for the curse to do his magic. So I send out Chestnuts, who survives a magical leap. Astonished did nothing, but that's fine. Another magical leaf takes down the treasure chest, but Curse is just not enough to take it down yet. Oh man. Filled with shame, I send out Not Dead Yet, who survives and kills the cat. I was very close to doing it with just my ghosts, but my XP sucker had to came in and help me out. I have them on the team so I don't level too quickly, but I guess I kinda lost here. But oh well. I could have used a potion and achieved the same goal. I won. It was close, but I won. It's fine, whatever. You would think that this should have woken me up, but no, it did not. After defeating Namana, I talk with the gym desk person, even before checking if my Pokemon are healed. It kinda sounds like I got more cocky somehow. As I head outside, the next challenge begins. I love this gym leader. She is a streamer, which is again someone with a second job. The bug leader is also a baker. The grass type is also an artist, and this one is also a streamer. I guess being a gym leader is more a hobby than an actual well-paying job. Anyway, I love her design a lot. The outfit is on point. The vibe is yes queen. Then this clown comes walking in and will be the person I need to look for. Remember the Sunflora challenge? This one's even easier. Yep, it's Where is Wally? On easy difficulty, might I add. The first time this challenge started, I stared at the director even before I knew what to do. Ugh. It's now time for battle. I forgot to switch out Sandy to the front of the party, and a bite is a one-shot on my therapist. I too would quit my job if a client would bit me. I ain't gonna let that happen twice. Trust me. Well, time for Sandy to shine after all. A bite takes more than half health, while Santoom does slightly less in return. But after the trap hits some more, I get hit by another bite, finishing off Sandy. Yeah, I'm starting to get worried here. I send out Hauntikins, who kills with hacks. Another game of find the low poly director before you can move the cursor. It's time for another fight against another simp. This time it's a Dynamo. Now the shape and color of this Pokemon combined with the whole simp vibe just sets me up for a very easy joke to make. But for once, I won't bite. Realizing I don't get healed in between battles, made Eknest come out. Alright, I'll just roll with that I guess. I take out the little Sperm with just 2 hits. Well, looks like he didn't last long. His second Pokemon is Fluffy. I switch to Chestnut so I can still use a ghost type in the fight. Fluffy goes for a charge while I use Astonish, doing almost nothing. Being as scared as I am, I Astonish after another charge. Not without being paralyzed, but the next turn Fluffy uses Cotton Spore, harshly lowering my speed. But I'm already very slow and my speed is halved due to paralysis. Oh, okay, I see. It cannot attack me. Alright, we know what's gonna happen next. We have a slow and boring fight where I do barely anything while being paralyzed a bunch. How fun. Long story short, I win. and I'm sure that these 3.5 minutes must have been the highlight of her stream. This is where Wally actually took me a little bit to find. I was focused on the center for a while before I found him, even though I had already looked at him once before, so that's a little embarrassing, but that's fine. I knew where to find him, I clicked on him, and yay, we passed the test. I heal my Pokemon and decide that Chestnuts is useless. So I give it some TMs, I give it Confuse Ray and Light Screen. I check for held items, but I have nothing, and so I just start the fight. Something that I was really excited for in this fight was like a new Magnemite version. I thought that the chubby looking Magnemites on their head would be like a new, I don't know, electric fairy type or something, like just a new version of Magnemite. So I was very curious to see it in battle, but that never happened. I was once again disappointed. She starts with her what roll? You got this, Chestnuts! He tanks a pluck and lands a Confuse Ray. Good job. The bird hits itself in confusion, very lucky, while I get to set up a useless Light Screen. It hits itself again. Yeah. While I astonish myself with the small amount of HP Chestnuts took away. That's not a lot. I get hit with a Spark, I retaliate with an Astonish, and then Chestnuts is taken out with another Pluck. I didn't even expect it to go that well, so that's great. Good job, Chestnuts. It's time for Sandy. Pluck does more than I like, while Astonish does less than I want. Another Pluck brings me to almost half health, while I heal 2 HP with Mega Drain. Okay. She then crits me with a Pluck, bringing me to red health. When Astonish finally takes out her first Pokemon, wow, this is not going great. Her second Pokemon is Luxio, which takes my slow scent pile out with Bite. I still haven't seen her scary third or amazing fourth Pokemon, so fuck it, I guess it's time to bring everything to the fight. I send out Bird Nest, who takes a Spark for almost half while I fire back with an Incinerate, doing slightly less damage. She almost takes me out and paralyzes me, that's annoying. I bring her to low red health, but you know, Bird Nest is done for. I send out my therapist for a priority Shadow Sneak and take the Electric Kitty out. It's now time for Bellybolt, a scary Pokemon. I switch for a Hauntikins, and I land a Hex, doing about a third and activating her ability, making her Spark do a lot more damage. Knowing I won't survive another hit, I go for another Hex before Hauntikin is taken out. But not before Curse Body activates once again at a crucial moment. Nice. I send up Mankey and Seismic Toss it back into its ball. Last up, her terrifying Mismagius. She crystallizes and lands a Confuse Ray. And since I know she only has special attacks, I use Swagger, confusing her while raising her attack. I thankfully land the move, and next turn she hits herself. Nice! Allowing me to live and hit her with a Seismic Toss. I'm getting lucky here. Mismagius then hits itself again, while my unnamed Mankey lands another Seismic Toss. What? I've won! This match is over. Mismagius snaps out of her confusion and lands a Hex that does not even kill. Oh my god. I'm pretty sure that if she would have fired off a Charge Beam, I would have been killed. But then Mankey takes itself out anyway, so it's whatever. I like to finish this fight with a Ghost-type Pokemon anyway. My therapist wins the match with a priority sneak attack. That was close. I did not deserve to win that one. If it wasn't for my luck with confusion, I would have been destroyed by her Mismagius. My therapist learns Hex. Iono ends the stream, and we have our third badge. We are now stopped in the gym building by the champion herself. She asked me if I want to become a champion, to which I respond with, "You better watch every step you take. This team of undead heroes will come to slay you and your team." She takes my threat well and tells me that she is the chairwoman of the Pokemon League. "You may be a chairwoman now, but once I'm done with you, you will be the footstool woman to keep my feet up while I sit upon your throne." She gets scared by this little child and runs off. Great. I still haven't learned from my almost defeat and decided it would be a good idea to go over to the first Team Star member. I don't see any problems with that. I thought that it might be easy since, I've already taken out 3 gyms, and the last one may not have been a good idea, but I still feel like I can do it. I mean, how hard can it be? My phone gets hacked again. As Cassiopeia is talking, we are interrupted by a mystery person. I wonder who this mystery person may be. He wants to join Operation Starfall. He does the most cringe move I've ever seen in all of Pokemon history and introduces himself as Clive. He claims to be my friend, even though we are clearly not friends, but since I don't care enough, I just keep on pressing A. Cassiopeia explains that she has history with Team Star and that taking them down is dangerous. While these two keep on talking, I'll explain the Team Star bases. Every base is surrounded by walls and a gate, all made up of school materials like desks and stuff. How the school doesn't miss those? I mean, have you seen how rich the school is? I don't think they're gonna miss a couple of tables, or like a couple of hundred, if not thousands of tables. I mean, it's in all kinds of other things and whatever. Inside of every Team Star base, you need to quickly, quote-unquote quickly, I should say, take out 30 Pokemon with your top 3. Don't worry, it's auto battles, it's not that bad, it's just boring. That's all it is. After that, you need to fight the big baddies, and that's about it. Even my character seems to know what's up here. I make sure that I have nothing but ghosts up front, and it's time for action. The fight starts. Sandy double dips into the ground as we face a dark type. Not ideal. Sandtomb hits, but it does under half to the dark type, and it uses Roar? Okay, not going for the kill, I guess. By the way, can I just point out that the darling is watching this fight? It's super cute and I love it. It's not because the game decided to do this, it's just because the Pokemon happens to be close by enough, it just watches. I want to see more of this. It's super cute and I really love it. And with the support of this random dealing, I send out... Oh, it's my therapist. Fuck, I get one shot. Alrighty then, I guess it's time for Sandy again. The dog avoids my Sandtomb and roars me again? Alright, I guess we'll see who's up next. Oh, it's Bird Nest. Let's make this dealing proud and show them what we're made of. Bite takes a good chunk, while Round doesn't do that much. What? That was a crit? Oh, I may have made a mistake coming out here. Another bite does big damage while I take it out with Round. I won, but not by much. So maybe it is best if I turn around now before I lose and embarrass myself on the internet. I wouldn't want to do that. Clive shows up again, but a Pokemon also shows up for some reason. And then it runs off. Alrighty then. I get another phone call. Jeez, people just cannot leave me alone. And by the time I'm finally done talking to these people, I forgot about my plan to turn back and went straight through the gates. Thank you, brain. I'm happy that I can always rely on you. Clive has some stuff to say, the base informs about my arrival, and it's time for action. I go through the slow process of taking the Pokémon down one by one. It goes okay. Although my Pokemon are pretty beat up quickly, I wanted to go and heal, but then Sandy's taken out, so... Whoops. I jump right back in, still forgetting my plan to come back later. Nice, okay, that's on brand. There's some talking, and time for action. This time goes better. I take out a whole bunch of Torkoal until I make my way over to the vending machine. What up, guys? I gotta buy some snacks. I'm a bit hungry. And I take out some more dogs until I realize I cannot have snacks without something to drink. That's better. I take out more dogs and some turtles, and I could not stop thinking about those snacks I bought. So I got some more. They have my favorite here. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. I take out some more and then I try to switch to the only Pokemon that would not take a bunch of damage because I'm not sure if my Pokemon will be healed before the big fight. It doesn't work though, so I guess I'll just deal with it. I get some more drink to flush away the snacks stuck in between my teeth and take out another Pokemon. Oh, and one extra for luck, I guess. The cutscene triggers to reveal a big car. On top of this car is the leader, Miss Step On Me Mela. She sends out her Torkoal while I lead with Sandy. Torkoal's ability activates Sunny Day, powering up her Pokémon. Uh-oh. She hits with a Flame Wheel that does way more damage than I thought, only for Sandy to miss Santum. Great start. Another Flame Wheel takes out Sandy, and I send Chestnuts in battle. Before I can even do anything, Chestnuts is down. Yikes. My therapist managed to get off a Screech just before I realized I don't really have strong physical type attacks, but that's fine. Before I can really worry about that, my therapist is taken down. I haven't even touched Torkoal and I'm already down 3 Pokemon. I send out Bird Nest. Bite does barely anything, while Flame Wheel does twice as much. I use Incinerate to do even less damage, and Clear Smog gets me to low health. I use Rounds, still not doing a whole lot, and Bird Nest is taken out. Maybe Mankey can help me out here. A Seismic Toss hits, and the monkey is done for. Alright, it all comes down to my powerhouse. Hauntican, use Hex! Yes, finally, her first Pokemon is down. Let's see what her second Pokemon is. It's her car. It goes first, hits me over half, and burns me while I do a laughable amount. Her next turn takes me out. She stomped me into the ground like a burnt cigarette, and I did not even stand a chance. I decided that I needed to level up some more. I went to the starting area and took down some trainers so I could get the reward. I hoped for something good, but it wasn't. Another thing I did in the starting area was a trick. When you first start out, you can ride over to the side. This is something you cannot reach right away. However, there is a way. If you get to the edge here, you can find a Pokemon that's close enough. If you chuck a Pokeball at it, it will teleport you over there. Once you've done that, simply run from the fight and you're free to explore. I was hoping for a strong Ghost-type Pokemon or some good items or something, but I found nothing here, so it's a bit of a waste of time. Another trick I want to show you is this one. You cannot get over this incline. However, if you turn around and jump backwards, you can. Once again, allowing you to explore places you're not meant to explore yet. Anyway, I went around, I looked for some Pokemon and items. I battled some trainers and I found this little guy. But then my battery died. But this time, it straight up stopped working. I don't know why, but when I try to charge it, the charger goes absolutely crazy. So I guess that's one less battery to work with. Not that you will notice anything though, it just takes me longer to film everything now. Yay! I caught the Pokemon off camera and named it Xurum, my worst nickname so far. Because I had to wait for my other battery to charge, I did some off-camera grinding. I battled the other trainers and claimed the reward. I don't remember what it was, but I do remember not being very excited about it, so there you go. I did some terror raids as well. I found a bunch of items, including, but not limited to, a Quick Claw, which I'm definitely going to need because when I was battling with Sandy, who was level 24, against a level 12 Sunkern, I discovered that my pile of sand is slower than the Pokemon with the worst stats in the game, even though I had twice the levels. Yikes. Sandy also learned a new move, Bulldoze, a much needed move to replace the ever so unreliable Sandtomb. After this, my controller died. Well, I guess I played enough for today. I put my controller on the charger and tried again the next day. After giving my Pokemon some candy to level it up, I decided to go back to the hideout. I could jump right back into the fight, but now with my ghosts being the same level as my opponent's Pokemon. I did forget to equip Quick Claw though. My bad. She screams, although there is no voice acting in this game, and leads with her trusty Torkoal, while I start with Sandy. Sunny Day is set up. Time to shine, baby! A Flame Wheel puts me under half health, while Bulldoze does about a quarter, and also lowering its speed. That's pretty nice. Torkoal still outspeeds me and knocks Sandy out. I send out Bird Nest, who lands a weak round. Torkoal claps back with a pretty strong Flame Wheel. Another round brings Torkoal just in orange health, while another Flame Wheel puts me in low orange health. I get a critical hit round before Torkoal takes Bird Nest out. Not dead yet. More like, yes, dead yet. Alright. I wanted to get the non-ghosts out of the way first, so I send out my unnamed angry monkey. The sunlight is gone, thankfully, which should help me out. I then miss cross-chop, and Mankey is taken out. Fuck. It's up to my therapist now, and a single hex is thankfully enough to take down the turtle. Now it's car time. The car misses its screech, while mine lands. Nice. An overheat leaves my therapist at 10 health, and lowers its own special attack by 2 stages. I land another screech, hoping that it will help me win the fight. I use a priority shadow sneak to do a pretty decent damage before overheat misses. Nice! This is looking promising. Another priority shadow sneak brings her health down, and a blazing torque takes out my therapist. I send out Chestnuts, thinking it will die before it can even do anything. And I'm wrong. Chestnuts tanks a blazing torque pretty well. It does get burned though. I use Confuse Ray, but apparently that doesn't affect the car for some reason. Stupid car. The car hits me with a screech even though it doesn't need it, while I set up Light Screen, just in case it wants to use Overheat again, you know? Its next move does, however, take out Chestnuts. I guess everything comes down to Huntigans. Once again, I wanted to use a physical payback to deal double damage after being hit, but it tries to screech me and misses. Payback does, however, do a great amount of damage. If I can survive one hit, Payback should take it out. I survive a blazing torque, giving me hope, and then I get the burn. Fuck. This fucked me hard. Payback doesn't even come close to killing it now. I was hoping that Hex would do enough, but the stupid car gets a fucking crit! Come on! I was so goddamn close. Another loss for me. I'm at least not cocky anymore. The fight definitely cured me of that. It did, however, give me hope. I just need one more try. I changed my strategy a little bit. I gave Sandy the Quick Claw, I gave Gengar a berry to cure the burn, and also put Chestnuts first. Third time's the charm is what they always say, and I really hope that they are right because I don't want to do this again. I send out my Chestnuts against her Torkoal with the Sunlight Bright. I use a new move I thought Chestnuts. Protect. The plan is to stall out the sun as much as possible. I lost half my health on the second turn due to a sun-boosted Flame Wheel. I do, however, land a Confuse Ray. I protect the next turn, but Torkoal does not hit itself. The background forgot to load for a sec. Torkoal snapped out of his confusion and takes out Chestnuts. I was hoping to get like 3 protects off first, but oh well, it did its best. I send out Bird Nest for the final sunny day turn. We exchange some damage and the sunlight is gone. Makes sense since it has been night for a couple hours now.
Funky, funky, funky.
Funky, funky.
A second round does barely anything, as a clear smog brings me down to low health. I was hoping to flinch with Bite, but a second clear smog leaves me at just 4 HP. Lucky me, I thought I was gonna faint. Speaking of luck, it starts to rain. That's perfect. No more strong fire type attacks for you, Mela. I land round and bring it down to just above half. Torkoal does take me out though. I send out my therapist and hit a pretty decent hex. Torkoal does a lot of damage, but thanks to the rain, it doesn't take me out. It does burn me, but that doesn't really matter here. Another hex brings Torkoal down to red health, and my therapist is taken out. I'm getting scared again. It's not going as well as I hoped. Mankey takes out Torkoal with low kick, thankfully. I hope that I could outspeed the car now that it hasn't gotten its speed boost yet, but Mankey is taken down by a weakened fire type. Okay. At this point, I remember why I wanted to save my therapist again, but, you know, once again, a huge thank you to my brilliant brain. I'm hoping that Sandy can do some damage here with Bulldoze. I survive an overheat, but then the rain stops. Oh god. Even though I gave Sandy some stat boosting items before the start of the match, it doesn't do a whole lot and Sandy is taken out. Yikes. Huntikins, it's once again up to you. The car misses a screech while I fire off a decent hex. I do see the end of the fight, however. It gets off a screech as I use hex, bringing it in orange health for the first time ever. Hey, look at that. Oh, and would you look at that? Another fucking crit. I decided to take a break from the fight. She stepped on me and crushed my soul. She burnt me to ashes, and I wish that my ashes could come back as a new version of Sandy, but that doesn't happen. Sad. I thought that it might be a good idea to explore a new area and immediately encounter a new ghost type. It's a Thumbleweed. I catch it with my second ball.
Raid that Pokémon!
Thumbleweeds are very interesting to me. They have a unique strategy of forming into a ball, die, and letting the wind take them places. It's the only plant that really gets around. While they roll around the land, seeds get left behind. This strategy works so well that it has become a problem for us. They make native plants go extinct and cause wildfires because they are just very flammable. I've been fascinated by Thumbleweeds for some time now, and I'm happy to see that it became a grass ghost Pokemon. Very fitting. The seeds are its eyes, which, yeah, that's cute. Its roots are feet, and it rolls around with its thorn-covered around body. The design is simple enough that it works, and I love it. A for how astonished I am, because I love it more than I thought I would. I name it Bramble. I ride around on my bike collecting some items, hoping to find another encounter as I get stuck. I free myself and collect a whole bunch of more items. I get a phone call from Arvin, so I'm probably close to the next Titan. But before I go there, I continue collecting things from the grounds. As I enter a tunnel, I once again cheese my way through. Nothing can stop me! Oh, a Diglett stopped me. Nothing much interesting happens until I find another ghost type. I quickly catch it after Chestnuts was almost taken out.
Raid that Pokémon!
Dreepy. I love this thing. It's so cute. Look at it. It's a spooky little ghost. But it's also a dragon. It's perfect. Its design has the best mix between ghost and dragon. It looks a bit goofy, I will admit, but that helps it to be so cute. I can totally see myself have one of these if Pokemon would have been real. It is very weak, however, which kinda sucks. I mean, a child can defeat it by itself. Because it's so weak, I will keep it an A tier though. A for awesome powers will be unlocked later. I name it Chef. I don't know why. I guess I was just hungry or something. I replaced Bird Nest with Chef. Welcome to the team, little dragon. Nothing interesting happened until I watched this electrode explode, but totally be fine and then disappear. Pokemon Violet, 10 out of 10. I also managed to scare off a glowing Espion. Yeah, that's right, be scared. I also found this place and got stuck again. I don't think I've found this place on my own playthrough. Maybe they added it in an update, or maybe I forgot. And knowing my brain, it's probably the latter. It has a bunch of items, which was nice. I found some more stuff, and then I landed in knee-high water. But thankfully the game saved me from drowning. Imagine getting your socks wet. That would have been the end of my journey. I went to a gas station to heal my Pokemon and switched Mankey for Bramble. I wanted to go over to the next Titan and I wanted to walk with Bramble for no particular reason at all. It's not fast enough to keep up though, so I have to make sure not to outrun it. Something I haven't explained yet is the picnic feature. How silly of me. You can picnic at a lot of places as long as you're not in a city or a town or close to people or objects, or sometimes it just doesn't tell you why you cannot do it. But when you get it to work, a table will appear with some stuff on it. All your Pokemon come out, including your bike, and Gengar and I fuse together for some bonding. How cute. You can make a sandwich at the table. You start with a couple of options, and you unlock more while you play the game. You need to go to a specific building, which is like the only building that you can actually enter that isn't a gym or something. I'll show you once we get to it. You pick a recipe and a pick, Some ingredients go directly on the sandwich, as you can see here, and others you have to place there yourself. But be warned, there is a time limit for everything. So you have to be really, really quick. I only have 10 minutes to put 3 slices of ham on a sandwich. But, because I'm such a pro, I managed to pull it off in time. You can put the top of the sandwich on the ingredients, but it may fall if you do that. If that happens, the sandwich isn't as good. But when you drop it somewhere on the table, it's perfect. Such a good game. You have a 2-limit timer for this though, and also a 2-limit timer to stick a pin in the sandwich as well. Thankfully I speedrun it with just a couple seconds left on the clock. Would you look at that, the perfect sandwich! You and your Pokemon eat it, and the health and friendship of your Pokemon go up. Fantastic. Every sandwich has its own effects. It's not important to know right now, but it's a thing as well, so just so you know. You can also throw a ball that your Pokemon can play with. How fun! Look at them having the time of their life. Chef? Are you okay? Do you know how a ball works? Let me help you out. There you go. Isn't that lovely? Alright, enough for now. Time for business. I took my buddy out and we walked for a while. And I mean a while. But hey, there is the next Titan! Let's see how this is gonna go. I have to catch its derpy little face first though. I can ride through the sand piles it makes, which is nice, I guess. What a lovable goof. The fight starts. Its first Iron Tail misses as Bramble makes its debut with Hex. That doesn't do a lot of damage, but that's alright. It misses a second Iron Tail and I land another Hex. It then misses Iron Tail again. It does, however, land the 4th move, taking out the Tumbleweed. My therapist is up next and immediately gets taken down by another one-shot. Uh-oh. Chef makes his first appearance and flinches the big worm with a weak bite. I did not think that I would outspeed. That's nice. I get one shot the next turn though. I'm starting to think that my team may suck. Chestnuts comes out to avoid Iron Tail and lands a weak-ass Astonish. Another Iron Tail misses and a second Astonish brings it down to orange health. The next Iron Tail lands, but Chestnuts tanks the hit. It deals some more damage and is then defeated by Derpid the Worm. I send out Hauntigans, who easily takes it out with a single Hex. Damn. The worm turns around, breaks a rock, and crawls through with his silly little arms. I try to find a spot for a picnic and heal my Pokemon with the ultimate sandwich. I'm getting better at this every time. I go back to the Titan and... Whoops, wrong tunnel. Whoops, I can see through the tunnel. I try another tunnel. I see the abyss. I see through the wall again, and I find the worm. I have to chase it again. It breaks through some rocks, and Arven shows up just in time to interrupt me. Again, while a Titan has its back turned to me and is eating something to power itself up. Good job, buddy. Time to fight its powered-up form. It one-shots Bramble. Uh-oh. Hauntigans does pretty good damage with Hex. I love how I cannot see Arven's Pokemon, by the way. Hauntigan lands another strong Hex. The worm hits itself and is hit with a Grass Knot by Arven. So I can finish it off with payback. It feels good to win something again. Good job, Hauntigans! We enter the cave and once again switch place for some reason. We find the herb, Arven talks about stuff for too long and makes a sandwich. Yippee! My bike wants that sandwich again, which I will allow to piss Arven off. Another orgasm allows me to jump higher with my bike now. I'm thankful that I do not have to eat these sandwiches. Arven flips out when my bike tries to go for seconds. It turns out Arven has a dog. The dog is sick and cannot be healed by potions or Poke Centers. The only thing that might work are these special herbs that he read about in an old book. I keep accidentally skipping every time he shows me. For now, all that you need to know is the dog needs to eat 5 herbs before it gets healed. We exit the cave, and another phone call from Professor Obvious telling me us things we just learned. This is my normal jump, this is my high jump. That's all. It's pretty nice though, it allows me to move about much easier. As I'm wondering on what to do next, I choose to go and say hi to the next Team Star member. Maybe this one will be easier. Not before exploring the foresty area, though. I hate this forest. The frame rate here is abysmal. Riding around here feels incredibly slow. I tried to look for some more encounters, but I decide that it's just not worth it. I just get the one that I know of and just ditch. I mean, I want to explore the place, but like... You know? After searching for what feels like 3 weeks, I walk with my body again. No reason at all. It doesn't evolve when you walk with it for at least 1,000 steps or anything. Why would you say such a thing? I find my next encounter. I mean, it's a Mimikyu. I chuck a quick ball and voila! The best Pokeball ever made.
Rate that Pokémon!
A Pikachu clone. But this one is literally a Pikachu clone. A Pokemon that wants to be loved, so it dresses up as a Pikachu. You know, the concept is cute. This ghost fairy type uses its Pikachu outfit to avoid the first attack. It's clever and cute, and part of me likes it, but I'm just so over fucking Pikachus, man. Like, I just don't care about it, because I don't need to see another one of these. We already have so many. Please stop. It scores points for creativity and the fun gimmick, but loses points for being a Pikachu clone. B for boo! Another Pikachu clone, boo! I gave it the perfect name, Peekaboo. I switched it out for my therapist. I mean, why do I need therapy when I have plushies? Am I right? Catching Peekaboo gave Bramble enough XP to evolve. My camera stopped filming right after it started though, but I'm glad that I still got to show you the perfect camera angle.
Rate that Pokémon!
I kind of wish Thumbleweed didn't evolve, because I'm not a big fan of this one. It got more complex and busy, which I don't like. I liked how the previous evolution was quite simple. It's just too busy and too messy right now, I'm sorry. The thorns are bigger, which is fine, you know, that's pretty cool, I guess. It now has a goofy face with eyebrows and a nose and like a mustache, or like a smile? I don't know what it is, but I do know that I don't like it. It did not need a face like this. The purple tips are fine. The 2 different colored eyes are not needed and makes the design even more messy. It's a plant. It doesn't need to look human. I like the previous evolution because it was so non-human. It was just this thing, this plant that was sentient and a ghost and ooh, spooky scary. And now this one looks like a fucking... this. I do like that on rare occasions, mass outbreaks of these Pokemon can bury an entire town. D for de-evolve, please. I grabbed some more items until it just bothered me too much, so I went straight to the hideout. Oh, you cannot jump over the tiny little fences, by the way. I must be a decent person. I'm sorry, Team Bad Guy. I thought you were the police, but apparently I am the one who needs to learn some manners. A small child is talking with a Team Star member like he's a whole lot of something. I crush his Gulpin with Huntigans and take out the other thing with a bunch of paybacks. Remember how Fart couldn't even attack this thing back at the start of the game? We surely made good progress, didn't we? Clive shows up for some reason. I get another phone call. I'm being hacked again. Whoa, so scary. Some more talking happens and we're finally inside of the walls. Through the gates, of course. What, you think I would be such an undecent person to jump over a knee-high fence? I'm disgusted that you would even think that I would do such a thing. Shame on you. Well, we have seen this before. It's the same as the fire base. But now it's a bunch of poison types. Attack a bunch of Pokemon, get some snacks, attack some more, get a drink, and finish off the last of the 30 Pokemon. There we have another car. Yes, every Team Star member has a car. I believe that the car has the same type as the person on top of it. I don't know. I mean, what the fuck do I know? This time we need to face off against the mysterious Atticus. Their first Pokemon is a Skuntank. Shit, that's a poison dark type. It uses Sucker Punch and takes out Huntigans with 1 hit. Oh, not again. I send out Sandy and get badly poisoned by Toxic. This does allow me to pull off a Bulldoze. Not for all that much damage, and then Sandy is taken out by a Sucker Punch. A critical hit to make it hurt more. Peekaboo is next. I use Mimic to learn Sucker Punch myself. It doesn't have great moves yet. I am hit by another Toxic. I use Sucker Punch to do basically nothing. Skuntank lands a Venoshock, but our ability keeps us from taking damage. Nice! I mean, besides the poison damage. I use a priority Baby Doll Eyes to lower its attack when another Venoshock brings me down to 15 HP? I survived that? Wow! Oh, and then the poison damage takes me out. Okay, well, whatever. The Chef's dies to a Sucker Punch, and Chestnuts gets badly poisoned by Toxic. I land Astonish, but I might as well have sneezed on it, because it probably would do the same amount of damage. A Sucker Punch is not enough to take down Chestnuts. Wow, he's so tanky. So another sneeze it is. It even survives the poison damage. It does, however, gets taken out the next turn by Sucker Punch. Bramble outspeeds, which surprised me, and lands an Infestation for no damage. I get badly poisoned again. Just ends me already, man. Fucking stop this. Infestation does some more damage, and a Hex, you know, whatever. Bramble's taken out by another Venoshock. With yet another defeat, my ego has fallen like a house of cards. Feeling hopeless, I find myself at the top of the nearest tower. As I stood there, wondering what it is all for. Defeated many times. I've come all this way, but time and time again, I fail. First Mela, then Mela again, then Mela a third time, and now Atticus. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's nice to switch things up a little bit to make it, like, not the same as the rest, but like, how many times? How many times must I suffer until it is time to stop, to give up? How many times must I lose before I can quit? I'm a failure. Is it still worth the effort? I ask, but an answer does not come to mind. One might say when you fall, just get up again. But what if the fall was too high? What if the fall becomes your end? Perhaps it is best if I join my team of ghosts and become a ghost myself. As I stare off into the distance, I take a deep breath, and as the thunder and rain sets the perfect mood, I take one last step.